NFL playoffs. We've got wildcard weekend coming up. Before we even get to your favorite bets, props, how do you approach the slate differently since it's now the playoffs?
Not that much differently, honestly. Okay. I don't change anything too dramatic. Obviously, we have to look at things in a different context, knowing that, it's like the end of the season sample size is important, but also how teams operate in the playoffs may change. So can I trust what LaFleur does over the course of the entire season? Sure. Am I a little bit hesitant about what Ben Johnson's going to do because it's his first time coaching in playoffs? Yes. So again, there's no blanket rule that I apply to everything. I think we want to lean into what we know and what would have gotten us this far. But to see teams change things is going to be expected because this is do or die. So if a player averages, let's call it 15 rushing attempts per game, in a one-game sample size, it's very realistic that he ends the game with 7 because it's just not working. So he's going to fall dramatically shorter than his average or his projection just because they have to flip the script because something's not working. So they may want to run the ball X team, but if they can't do that, then we're going to see the quarterback fly over his pass attempts because they need to. It's not their game plan. It's not what they've done the entire season. Mm-hmm. But in-game betting in the playoffs can, I think, be really beneficial because teams need to do certain things.
Sean Michael's going to be happy with this. He says Packers beat the Bears 27-6. You're on the same page that you like the Packers, and you're not even going to bet the spread. You're just taking them straight up on the money line.
Yeah, Packers money line. When we look at some of the numbers, especially for the Chicago defense, a lot of their production has been, for them, a good portion of the season has been buoyed by their turnover differential. That's how they've been propped up. Being so good. It's you give up an 80-yard drive and then you happen to pick off the quarterback in the end zone. It's turnovers are variable and they're kind of noisy at the end of the day. So you give up a ton of yards and then it's you force a turnover. It's okay, that's great. But those turnovers at that rate aren't sustainable. And we've seen that drop off as the season has gone on. And yes, the Green Bay offense didn't look amazing to end the season, but they are coming off a full rest. And, when we look at the Bears as they were home favorites last week. I forget what the number was against Detroit, but if you were struggling to put up points against Detroit when the Bears have something to play for, what are we going to see against the Packers defense, which by far, of course, is not as healthy as it was earlier in the season, but it's still a veteran defense. It's still a defense that has playoff experience. So I like the Packers to win. I just think that they're the better team top to bottom. I expect the offense to be there. A lot of people are talking about the weather in this game. It's not going to be a snow game. It's the wind will be the most important thing. It's not going to be a heavy precipitation game. And yeah, as Sean Michael was saying, the Bears are frauds. I've said this for a couple of months at this point, especially once they got on the win streak that they ended the season on. Kind of, I just think they're a year early. It's a great turnaround. Williams looks great. Ben Johnson looks great. I think they're a year earlier in their development. Next year they'll be a true contender.
I'm loving because a lot of smart people I know like the Packers. So I just checked the DraftKings lines. I wanted to make sure that we weren't all being so public. And I don't mean this bad because I love the Packers this week. So that's why I was nervous. I checked the DraftKings lines. The public is all on the Bears, +1.5. Bears money line. They want the plus money. And I'm sure the Bears are going to be a very nice teasable option for people at +1.5.
That's true. It's fair. A home team that's a high seed getting points in the playoffs.
Like March Madness.
Sometimes it doesn't make sense, but I think that also should tell us enough about how good the Packers are or how fraudulent the Bears are to an extent. It's not just one or the other. It's it's a combination of both things happening at the same time. If the Bears were hosting the 49ers, it would be a different story. The line would be favored in the Bears. The 49ers would still take some public money, but I'd still see the Bears as maybe a 2-point favorite. I just because everyone's not high on the 49ers. It's we know what we get from the Packers and the Bears are frauds at the same time.
I don't trust the Bears. I know that Green Bay just went in there and lost, but the Bears, to me, their defense scares me to trust at all. And as much as it's an enticing teaser because it's a divisional matchup and divisional matchups in the playoffs can be tough, the Packers have the better defense, even without Micah Parsons. The Packers could put pressure on Caleb Williams. And I don't trust Caleb Williams to not throw a pick in the end zone to close the game out.
It's true. Looking at just basic DVOA numbers for both these teams, offense, defense, things are pretty heavily in favor of the Green Bay offense. And that's what I expect to kind of power them to the win. 24-17, 21-17 is kind of where I'm feeling it in favor of the Packers. So they'll win if they win, they cover. It's only a point or whatever. But I don't expect this to be 21-20. That'd be a crazy outcome.
How much do you consider inexperienced playoff quarterback versus experienced playoff quarterback?
A good amount. I said it on some shows earlier today throughout the week. I think the Chargers are very live this year, or like this week, I should say. Herbert's looked terrible in the playoffs. 3-4 picks last year versus Houston. And granted, he didn't collapse when they lost to the Jags 4 years ago, whenever that was. Like, obviously, the defense. So his playoff record is horrible. Like, there's no doubt about it. But he has playoff experience. It's not good, but at least he has it compared to Drake May. And, right. What we saw from the Chargers last year, hopefully they just improve on that.
I'm hoping so, too, because these are two – I'm curious. It's been a year where everyone's talking about the Bears are frauds, the Patriots are frauds, maybe the Broncos are frauds. And yet here are the Broncos with the 1 seed. Here are the Patriots with the top seed. Here are the Bears with the top seed. Are they both, the Patriots and the Bears, going to get upset this week? I feel like we're going to go 1-1.
I could see it happening. Like the Bears, I wouldn't consider like that big of an upset, at least not from a line perspective, from a seeding, of course, but we can poke holes in all of these teams. Like, we can poke holes in, the Bills, and their defense is terrible. And Josh Allen has looked good this year. He hasn't looked necessarily great. The Pats look good, but they don't have like a true dynamic playmaker outside of Diggs, and he looks good at times, but they also don't have playoff experience. And the Jags, we're waiting for the bottom to fall out on them. Like, their offense has been unbelievable, but like, is that sustainable to score 30 points, or can they even score 30 points in the playoffs? So like, every team has holes and positives and negatives, but that's what makes these playoffs far more interesting than what we've had over the past 5 years.
The playoffs are really interesting. I said it between the NFL and college football. It's the first year that we really don't have a team that we could fully trust and say they are the dominant team to beat. Some are saying it could be Philly, but the way the offense has looked the last few weeks, you could trust the defense, not so much that offense.
Right. It's that, like, the Rams are plus 440 for the Super Bowl. They have the second odds. Seattle's at 390. The Rams are a wild card. Like, the Rams are a team that's playing on the road. So, like, that should tell you enough. Like, this is wide open that a team that can't even have home field is one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl.
Sorry, Sean, I want to address you. I didn't mean that Indiana is not the overall number one. They are the best team. I meant throughout the season, it's not like an Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State team was someone that was a runaway favorite, and everyone question marked Indiana, I think, until the last few weeks. The last few weeks when Indiana's been dominating, people realize, oh, yeah, they are really good. But all season, you can't say people weren't questioning if Indiana was that good. Like, everyone was like, can we trust them? Can we put money on them? They've been good, but can we trust it? And I feel like that's how the NFL has been this year, where there are some teams that we are questioning, can we trust it? Are they really that good? And I think that's what's comparable between the NFL and college football this year.
To Jay Main's, like, why are we so high on the Rams? I'm not saying I'm high on the Rams. I'm saying the market is high on the Rams. Like,
yeah, I mean, they're double-digit favorites on the road at a place they just got upset a few weeks ago.
Right. So I'm not saying I'm personally high on the Rams. I think the Rams are very good. I don't think they're leaps and bounds ahead of other teams, though.
They've made some crucial mistakes, but I think it's a little telling that steam looks like it's on the Rams, and we're seeing this line move from 10.5 to 11 in some spots. I'm not willing to lay double digits in a playoff game, but that's me. I think there's other options out there.
Yeah, I would agree. I thought the line did move down to 10 on Sunday night last week. I thought it was going to move to 9.5. It's back up to 10.5. I can see why people are buying into 10.5 and just taking a home dog with that many points in the playoffs.
Just to answer your question, AC Money, this game, it was a 46.5 and it went down to 44.5 for Packers Bears. So that's a way to look at the line move, that the under is where it's trending to. Monday Night Football, Houston Texans at a team I don't want to name, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who just broke my heart. It wasn't them, actually. It was Tyler Loop, John Harbaugh. They all broke my heart. But this is a really low total at 38.5, and that kind of goes with the prop that you like.
Low total, not a lot of scoring. A lot of people are like to back Tomlin as a home dog, which I think is certainly fine. But Woody Marks, rookie running back for the Texans, under 15.5 rush attempts. Again, he has been good, but there's a part of me that I'm just not sure they're going to be willing to give a rookie running back that many attempts. And when you look at the Steelers' run defense to end the season, terrible last week against Derrick Henry. We know that. But they were good against Cleveland. Granted, not the best offense overall. Cleveland also didn't have Quinshon Judkins. They were good against Detroit. They were good against Miami. And then they struggled against Henry again. And then they were terrible against James Cook. So this last portion of the season, they were terrible against elite running backs, James Cook and Derrick Henry twice, but they were pretty good outside of that. And they did hold Gibbs under control in that game at Detroit that they won. Woody Marks seeing 16 carries would shock me. Knowing that they have Nick Chubb back there, they have George Jordan, and I'm not expecting any one of these players to have 15, 16, 18 carries. I think they'll all be around 9 or 10 with George Jordan being the lowest amount. So again, coaching rationally, a rookie running back, 16 attempts, it's just too much.
Me and Kelly have our NFL Survivor pool for the playoffs, which you should join. It's $25 to win $50K guaranteed. I'm asking all my NFL people, who's their Survivor pick of the week? Who's yours?
For this week?
Give me a Survivor play. And remember, don't pick who you think might be your Super Bowl winner.
No, right, yeah. I would take the Packers. I truly believe that they are the better team compared to the Bears. And if that means picking the Packers and saving the Eagles, sure, I'll do it.
I am so torn on who the hell is going to win this Super Bowl, Tom.
That's a good thing, though. Like that's what makes this exciting. And I will say,
I think the Eagles could get back to the Super Bowl, but can they win it?
The one thing I will say is you should always look for would be Super Bowl MVP odds and trying to bet them early. So I will be betting MVP odds before Saturday's games come to fruition. I haven't decided yet, but I'm trying to always look at the differential where, if you like,
Trevor Lawrence.
Sure. Trevor Lawrence is, he's what, 17-1. Like that is dramatically better than the Jags Super Bowl odds, which are not dramatically better, but they're 13-1. So I always like to bet an MVP early and before the games happen.